I wrote notes for myself, but I can't find them. It's time for the installment of Manic Mark's Answers. Turn that off. I'm going to just try to be serious for a second, and I can't ever do it. Why? Because what does it matter? Again, I go back. I described the whole thing about being serious and being confident, and why I can't do that either. But I'm going to try to answer a question as seriously as my feeble-minded brain can possibly manage, and that's from timido66, who posed the question concerning why so many people covered Hey Jude, the Beatles tune Hey Jude. Well, I've collected so many records and thought about them a lot. I've considered why people do covers of songs, and as best as I can get a grip on it, here's what happens. It seems like in the 50s and 60s, it's hard for me to relate it to modern music thereafter, but so many popular musicians, there was a split in the 50s where there was easy listening and exotic and light pop, and this whole separation between like 60s rock and psychedelia and all that sort of thing. That was like all like original stuff. Okay, these kids got tired, and why did they get tired? Because people that were making music all did the same songs. Like somebody would come up with a song, and then everybody and their brother would do a cover of that song, and it was perfectly acceptable, and people felt comfort in that. And it's, oh, I know that song. How does this person do it? It could still be going on. I really don't know. It's just something I noticed. And then that split I talked about. Anyway, so I think, and the reason I go through that whole thing is that when artists try to get hip, like in the mid-60s, people like Julie London and people that were producing records, they were all in this, kind of easy listening light pop, probably it's best termed lumping it all together in light pop. They were all in that mindset. But they saw this other music becoming popular, and they tried to let their hair down. Kate Smith, that was another example. I've blogged a Kate Smith record where she does covers of popular tunes. In fact, I think it's Beatles tunes. So number one is this whole group of old school musicians used Beatles tunes and more popular tunes like Hey Jude because of name recognition, and they wanted to somehow segue. They were used to doing covers, and they tried to segue into modern music's record sales, turn popular 60s music like the Beatles into sales for themselves by covering their songs. Okay, that's why. It's name recognition. Okay. But it goes beyond that. There's some psychological things happening in here too. Now for a lesson in psych. Just cut that out again. Anyway, it sounds like an aircraft engine. This little organ that Tink so graciously gave me. Anyway, okay. Private press. There were certain songs when I listen to these lounge and private press records that everybody does. Everybody does My Way. And then there's some other songs that people do. That's a mistake. And Neil Diamond is one artist that people like to do covers of. Impossible Dream. And why is this? Well, I think it has to do with that. As creatures, we love drama, and if we can somehow center it on ourselves, like I did it my way, because making a record, trying to be an artist is really hard. Impossible Dream. So it's like you want to express You're struggling the most dramatic way. It's a mistake, but that's what we do. And Neil Diamond, I want to say something about Neil Diamond because I thought about him and why so many people cover his songs. Males, for obvious reasons. Anyway, it's because it's deceptively simple material. When you listen to him sing that, it's like, what? How hard could that be? But then when they try to do it, it doesn't work. It's a lot harder than it seems. It's like acting. Really good acting you don't even notice because it's just so natural. But if you think about it, the person is sitting there crying or doing whatever they're doing, and there's 20 people in the room, and there's lights, and the camera's right here, and you don't see any of that, but they have to like just somehow switch all that off. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, so I just want to say why are some popular tunes covered and others? Well, there's the drama of it. In the Beatles, there's name recognition, but I also think it has to do with basic structure. The structure of some songs seems like try to do a cover of Helter Skelter. It's not going to happen because it's not easy. This structure is much more difficult to grab hold of. This is just in my opinion. So there's a simple structure, name recognition, but I've always, when I listen to covers, the only ones that work are people that just understand that it's not a good idea to try to replicate the song. It's a good idea to take that simple basic structure and make something that's your own out of it, okay? It's usually the most far out stuff that works when it's a cover. Or something, if it's like a rockin' song, bring it down and make it like an acoustic kind of really simple number. Or if it's simple, rock it out. You know, that sounds really young. I shouldn't have... Anyway, okay, Van. Now, she mentioned the Mirror Ball, so I'm going to play her the Mirror Ball, a track from the Mirror Ball album, which happens to be a Beatles cover of Yesterday from Nini, I think that's how he pronounces it, Rosso, who I guess he had one big hit here in the U.S. He's a horn player. I'm going to play that. Plus, I'm about to do a painting about a mirrored ball sack, and I'm just going to describe the painting to you. It's like if your grandfather suddenly goes crazy and comes downstairs wearing a mirrored ball sack that he wore when he was a male stripper back in the 70s, stripping to disco music. How would your grandchildren deal with that? And they're like, Grandpa, stop it! And they try to call the cops and everything goes crazy. But what he's saying is, you guys, you young people are going to start World War III. Look at me, I'm just wearing a mirrored ball sack cover. It's nothing compared to World War III, what I'm doing here in front of you right now. Why are you so upset?